Hi, I'm Petey, and you're in the 37th chamber. So, Bruce Lee. Whoa, hang on a second. Let's see that again. That's not Bruce Lee. Neither's this guy.
Sure, go and get it now.
Okay, finally, that's Bruce Lee. Okay, so I'm sure that many of you, if you were a Bruce Lee fan like me as a kid, were probably fooled quite a bit thinking you had come upon a new Bruce Lee film only to get something like, well, this. Well, Bruce Lee's sudden death at the apex of his career caused a rush within the Hong Kong film industry to find and market a new Bruce Lee. This was done in various ways, but typically they would try to find a look-alike and then, most of the time, disingenuously pass him off as the real McCoy. At other times, they just, well, cloned him. Now, what some of you might not be aware of is that before he became successful, Jackie Chan was also a victim of this Bruceploitation phenomenon of the 1970s. Jackie's talent had been evident since the days of his stunt work, most notably on two Bruce Lee films, Fist of Fury and Enter the Dragon. Jackie had also had a few bit acting parts in some other films and one starring role in a movie called Little Tiger of Canton. So then, it wasn't a surprise when Jackie was eventually singled out to be presented and marketed as the new Bruce Lee. And what better way to do that than to have him star in a sequel to a classic Bruce Lee film, namely Fist of Fury, aka Chinese Connection. In fact, so devoted was the studio to this project that some of the original cast members, such as Norm Mao, were brought back for this sequel. Director Lo Wei, a man who was more well known for betting on horse races and sleeping on set than actually doing any kind of directing on his films, was also recalled to direct the sequel. The result, New Fist of Fury, which will have the distinction of being the first film I review in the 37th chamber. So this film picks up right after the events of its predecessor, the remaining survivors of the Jingwu school. Okay, I probably should give a brief recap for the whole two of you who have never seen Fist of Fury. Chen Zhen, played by Bruce Lee, returns from studying abroad only to learn that his master, Huoyan Jia of the Jingwu school, has died, the result of having been poisoned during a match with a master of a rival Japanese dojo. Chen Zhen exacts his revenge by beating up an entire dojo and killing those responsible for his master's death, altogether proving that the Chinese
are not sick men.
But in the end gets shot down by some Japanese soldiers during a last act of defiance. So then, New Fist of Fury picks up right after the events of the previous film with the remaining Jingwu refugees, including Norm Mao, the inspector, played here again by director Lo Wei, a few others, and this guy who probably has Tourette's.
Fuck us!
The inspector agrees to help the Jingwu refugees hide from the Japanese soldiers by getting them to Taiwan, an island you'll see in a minute that's crawling with Japanese soldiers. Yeah, I don't think this plan was thought through very well, especially considering that Norm Mao has no intentions of remaining hidden on the island. As she expressly states,
"There too, I may get the chance to fight against them there and take revenge."
Nevertheless, the inspector arranges for their safe passage and goes to the pier to see them off, and the movie ends? No, unfortunately, it's just the belated credits. Anyways, we cut from that to Jackie Chan's introductory scene, who in this film plays a street urchin and thief. And because I guess there's a shortage of sensible forms of entertainment on this island, Jackie and his sidekick of sorts just decide to run around and race one another for a bit, which results in Jackie colliding into some Japanese. This produces the first fight scene of the film, which is just basically Jackie getting his ass kicked for a while, until the big boss from Bruce Lee's The Big Boss intervenes.
Good. You got guts.
Yeah, and so what? The Japs hit me, the Chinese do. What's the difference? It hurts whoever it is.
You know, I'm not used to such cynicism from Jackie. We're going to need something with a little bit more levity to balance that out.
You are all weirdos! Ugh.
Moving on from that traumatic image, we finally see the Jingwu refugees arriving at the Taiwanese pier, where the Japanese have erected a security checkpoint. It's not the most thorough of security pat-downs I've ever seen. Not surprisingly, our heroes make it through just fine, while this unlucky fella doesn't, because the Japanese happen to have his picture fortuitously handy.
Hey, are you sure this is your real name? I'll bet you've got another name, haven't you? You're a damn rebel.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor.
But all the commotion allows Jackie, who had earlier managed to make his way down to the pier, to abscond with some of the Jingwu group's things.
Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me.
Then we see Norma and gang getting settled in, whereupon Nora discovers something of great importance is missing, which she promptly blames on the Tourette's-inflicted kid.
Fuck us!
The film then generously lets us know what is missing by cutting to Jackie and his sidekick looking over what they've just stolen. A pair of black dildos? No, these are actually supposed to be Chinzen's nunchaku from the original Fist of Fury film. After that, we're finally introduced to the main villain of the movie, Okamura, the head of a Japanese dojo, who is apparently having a much better time than I am reviewing this movie.
My apologies for arriving here so late. And to make it up, let's all drink. Yes.
And after that, 50 minutes into this thing, we finally get the next fight scene, which is precipitated by Jackie's refusal to work for this random guy's casino. Why does Jackie refuse a chance at a steady paycheck?
Sure, I steal, but only from strangers. I never steal from locals. You see, I do have some principles.
You've got to stick to your principles.
Well, whatever the asinine reason, we at least get our second fight scene of the movie, which is, once again, just Jackie getting his ass kicked for a while. Until he stumbles upon the insight to whip out Chinzen's nunchaku that he stole, which initially proves successful until... Then Jackie's ass kicking continues until the film abruptly cuts to some of the Jingwu group taking a leisurely stroll, I don't know, somewhere, which is interrupted when they spot Chinzen's nunchaku on the ground beside a badly beaten and unconscious Jackie.
Well, who's the boy?
One of the locals. Good for nothing.
They then immediately whisk him away to be treated with, shit?
Such it! It's my dessert!
Okay, I need to pause here for just a sec and briefly mention some of the subplots I'm deliberately choosing to ignore in this film review. One of those having to do with Jackie having a Japanese mother that he doesn't know about. The second having to do with this whole Rebel Alliance thing that's forming to overthrow the Japanese on Taiwan that I kind of gave a cursory reference to back at the pier scene. Hey, listen, the movie doesn't take the effort to do anything with these subplots, so neither will I. Besides that, this movie is 2 hours long, which, even for good kung fu films, is stretching it a bit. Alright, with that parenthetical aside, we transition from medicinal shit
Such it!
to Okamura's first fight scene, where he easily dispatches some rather inept assassins.
Well, love.
So who were these assassins? I don't know, but neither does the movie, so it doesn't really matter. What does matter is that it does provide a convenient pretext for Okamura to go about terrorizing the various kung fu schools on Taiwan. He does this primarily by sending out his son, daughter, to go around bullying the various schools. So the son, daughter,
It's a man, baby!
goes to bully the first school, which results in probably the most boring fight scene of the movie. From that lackluster fight, it's back to the Jingwu group, who just happened upon Jackie again.
There's the kid who stole our things.
Yes. Hey! Hey!
What? I don't think that would be most people's initial reaction upon discovering the person that stole their stuff. It'd probably be more like this.
Still not learning Kung Fu? Want to learn?
No, thanks.
Up to you. See you.
Jackie's refusal doesn't last long after he witnesses Okamura threatening the Jingwu school.
And just what the hell is this Jingwu school? Get this. The Japanese are the best. Now then, the name of this school. Just what does Jingwu mean?
I never wanted to learn Kung Fu, but from tomorrow on, I shall learn. I'll train till I know how to fight.
And then, magically, after a few cutscenes, Jackie manages to become proficient in Kung Fu.
I've something valuable to give to you.
Give to me? What is it then?
It's not what you think, Jackie. Chin-Zen already hit that. It just turns out to be a training manual that Chin-Zen had made up, I guess sometime in between when he was beating up Japanese in their dojo and avenging his master's death. Meanwhile, Jingwu receives a challenge letter from Okamura, which finally sets up the last fight scenes of the film. The big boss is up first, who has some initial success until he has to face off with Japanese Shira. At first he handles her without too much difficulty until Okamura engages in some tomfoolery to help his daughter out. This turns the tide of the fight, which allows her to defeat the big boss, prompting Jackie into the battle. After some playful back and forth between the two, Jackie defeats her by a carefully placed drop kick to the boobs, which enrages her father.
I kill you! I kill you!
Okamura and Jackie then engage in a series of fights, which includes an exhibition of the Japanese sai and, a personal favorite of mine, the Chinese three-sectional staff. But the fight doesn't go well for Jackie until he receives a boost by a half-assed imitation of a famous scene from Fist of Fury. Now, just for comparative interest, here's the original scene from Fist of Fury. And now here's Jackie's version again. God damn it, Jackie, even Timek from The Last Dragon had a better imitation than you. Nevertheless, this strengthens Jackie's chi or something, and he begins to fight with renewed vigor. The fight eventually spills out into the hallway where